so excited to have you back, Celeste. Welcome.
Such a delight to be with you.
Okay, so I'm very fascinated about the story about you as a child. Tell us about how, while homeless at 5 years old, an apple and a judgmental look taught you that you can't let other people decide who you are.
You know those moments when something happens to you and you replay them over and over again in your mind? This is one of those moments for me. And I was about 5 years old and walking along a state park path, and the warmth on my feet, and this dog walked into my view and had a sparkling collar and leash all the way up to a woman's hand who was throwing away a half-eaten apple. I immediately was mesmerized with whether I could get the apple out of the dumpster and still get out. And had that feeling that, that feeling that, someone's looking you up and down. And sure enough, her question to me was, where are your shoes, girl? And I answered, I'm toughening my feet. And I remember, because I really did play it over and over. I used to think of her as Cruella de Vil. Do you know this movie? And then I realized that actually that moment gave me a priceless gift, but it took me years to recognize that gift. And it was that moment that I felt ashamed and small, and then had this still small assurance I was not what she saw. I was not from this place. And I wanted to say that, but she'd already turned and walked away. And I left with the gift of knowing and being asked, are you the homeless girl? Are you the hungry girl? Or are you so much more? We all are. We are not our circumstances. And to leave with that gift was truly a change maker for me.
Wow, what a powerful story. And you believe that we all have the power to easily take back the energy tied up in past incidents of trauma like this. So explain to us your technique to mind the gap in order to heal past trauma.
We do have that power, and it's super simple. So the moment between when something happens to you and your response, it's an instant. And usually the part of your brain responding is your amygdala. And that's what I like to call the lizard brain, because it's scurrying you under a rock to keep you safe. And you can't experience that much there, right? So in the moment between something happening to you and your response is always the gift of turning away from the negative bias it brings you to, and instead considering with gratitude and curiosity what you want to think of in that moment. So for me, one of those mortifying, truly in junior high, that's truly mortifying time frame, I found that I had this experience where people were laughing at me in the hall, and I was, and then someone pointed out that my skirt was tucked into my tights. However, going back to that moment, right? Going back to that moment, I could open it up. I literally do like Tai Chi, feel opening that moment, feel the emotions, see all the things that you just, when it's emotional like that, all the stickiness of it. And then I could say, oh, I'm grateful for the girl who pointed it out. I'm curious about the fact that what else I could have done with the wisdom of now. And I could say, actually, that was pretty amazing. It was embarrassing. And if I turned to everyone, wasn't that embarrassing? How funny is that? Thank you for showing me. That moment would leave them with more inspiration and no embarrassment for me. And then I just close the moment. You can do any trauma moment like that.
Oh, that's a fantastic tip. Thank you so much. Celeste, we're running short on time. So anything else that you'd like to add or share with us maybe about healing past trauma?
Yes, actually, my book that's coming out in October, The Power of Days, has so many witnesses of that being possible, so many evidence of what happens when we come together on purpose, and that we really, really can be the change we want to be in this world. And part of it is taking on trauma, taking on taboo, and recognizing what we see and witness, we can change.
Oh, beautiful. We'll make sure to pick up Celeste's book when it comes out this October. And thank you so much, Celeste.
Thank you.